Tully, over the years, you flirted with the idea of doing more stuff in wrestling. I think we saw you at that Legends of Wrestling pay per view, cut a great promo against Stan Lane, and you looked as good as ever in the ring. And once upon a time, I think you thought you might try your hand as being an agent, maybe with WWE, but ultimately, it wasn't ever really the right fit until AEW. Is that fair to say?
Yeah, it is. You know, I started in my life as doors would open in front of me. I would not prematurely say, no, I'm not going to do it. So I would go towards the door. But my prayer was, if this is not something I'm supposed to do, for God to shut the thing.
Yeah.
And so when I went up to New York for a 2-day deal, I mean, they weren't even offering me a job, because when you get offered a job, they offer you dollars, if I'm not mistaken.
Yeah.
And, you get paid this for this amount of work. And so I was just there for 2 days to kind of, and I don't really know what it is, but they never offered me anything. They did fly me up there, and I left there immediately for we were doing a prison event in North Florida in the Panhandle, Mariana, and I said, well, I know that that's not going to happen. And so I figured my entrance in the wrestling business, other than autograph shows or something like that, was over with at that point. And then I got in shape to go do Fujinami's retirement match, which I was never in Japan. So, I mean, that was kind of a neat little trip over there.
Sure.
And, but, I'd had very, very little involvement in the wrestling business until they called and they put the Four Horsemen in the Hall of Fame, which was a nice trip, and which I was kind of going with what Vince's relationship was with us. Never really understood that, but certainly am glad that I was part of it. And my children were all born after my wrestling career, and all 4 of my kids were able to be there in Miami when we were there. So that was a very neat deal. And so all good stuff.
It is good stuff.